What's going on, everybody? Today's June 4th, 2024. It's about 5:15 in the morning, and we're heading over to Cocoa Beach, where we will be fishing the Banana River and launching out of Thousand Islands. If you saw my last week's video, I checked that place out with a friend, two friends actually, and I was the only one that didn't hook up with anything. I did get a few chases from some snookers and those mangrove lines, and I found a couple reds, but I just could not get them to commit. One of my friends hooked into a big old red on the mangrove lines, but it pulled him in those mangroves and cut him off. So I spent the last couple days researching, watching videos, talking to friends that have been fishing here most of their lives, and just trying to figure out, because a lot of times if you're getting those chases, you're getting those follows, they're interested but they're not committing, you might be doing just something wrong. It could be something super small. So I watched a bunch of videos, I talked to a bunch of people, and I think I might know the smallest little mistake that I was making. So we're going to change that today and see if it makes a difference. And if it does get us on the fish, I'm going to share that secret with you towards the end of this video. So stay tuned to see if this little change makes all the difference when it comes to some inshore fishing today. I will also, if you know me, I'm new to artificials. I was bait fisherman most of my life, but I'm a big believer, especially nowadays, in not picking a side, because then you kind of limit yourself to only one side of things. So that's why I started learning to use a bait caster. There's a time and a place for a spinning reel, there's a time and place for bait caster and artificials and live bait. I feel that there's a time and a place for everything, and if you just pick one side and you're stuck there, you miss out on a lot of stuff. So I've been working and trying to get better with artificials. Today we'll be only using artificials. There's no live bait today, so I'm kind of stuck having to either figure it out or get the big fat skunkarooski. So I will be using a new line of artificials today that I have been seeing so many guys use lately in catching fish, and I've seen a lot of good reviews on it, and I personally have not given them a try, and that is some Z-Man products. So I picked out some colors and some designs that I feel that will work for me and that the fish might like. So we're going to give a couple of those things a try today. One thing you need to know about those Z-Mans is you want to keep the original wrapping. Store them in that original wrapping, because their plastic is super stretchy and durable. But if you put it in like a normal plastic tackle box, or you put it with other fishing plastics, it will fuse and melt all to it. So keep Z-Man products separate and within their own bag, because it's a whole different type of plastic. So anyway, everybody, we're heading over to the Thousand Island boat ramp in Cocoa Beach. Let's see what we can get on. Let's see if we can make a change and if we can get on the fish today. So anyway, guys, I will catch you over there.
bunch of little trout hitting the top water.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's a good sign. No! That's how you do it. I almost got a critter. Oh, dang it. Had to hit right on that log. Little guy. Little rat red. Let's get a little picture here. Little guy. At least we got that skunk out of the way. I wonder if I could fit in there. Should we try? All right. Why not, right? Try and not snag our poles while we go in here. Looks like there's only one way in get out of here. I probably should have tried to sneak in here. It would have been a little better. Whew, that was close. Almost in the tree. seemed promising. Maybe next time we'll try and sneak in. There's a snake in the water. See it right there? Going across? Dang, that snake was fast in the water.
All right, everybody, another slow day. I'm telling you, summertime fishing inshore is a grind. It is a grind. It gets hot quick and that bite turns off. I definitely did better than I did the previous day. And the trick, or what I think that I was doing wrong the first two trips is when you're here, I'll put some clips over here of it.
Alright, so here's some examples of some mistakes that I was making when I rigged these up. Look at this one right here. You might think that that's fine right there, but look at the side there. See how it's off to the side? If I hold that jig straight, let me put it in the camera straight. See how it's off to the side a little bit? And that causes that to almost wobble a little bit unnaturally in the water. Another mistake I make is like this right here. See how that's completely sideways there? You have to make sure you have that hook point come out right here in the center. And then now look at this one. Obviously I did this one for illustration purposes. I wouldn't toss something out this crooked. You can see right there, you need to make sure that when you're running these baits that you are running it to the, you mark where the hook comes out, but you need to make sure that you're popping it right in the center. You know what I'm, you need it right smack dab in the center. Here's another mistake that I make right here. See that? Obviously you see that little hook there, right? You want a straight presentation like that. So now what I was doing too is I kept noticing it kept coming up. It kept coming up like that. And another trick someone said was take this, pull it forward a little bit, and you rehook the tip of that in there, and that'll help hold it at that that level like that. Here's another mistake right here. Now this one I stretched it too far. You see it's got a lot of stretch in there. Not a good hook set. So what we want to do is I like to mark where that hook's going to come out. About right there is where I want to pop through. Right through the center like that. Okay. Perfect, right? Now what you want to do is ride that up there. And this bait has a nice little place in here for it to put. But now look, there's no stretch on this. You have a nice straight presentation. And now this is how the bait should be worked. Every bait is made to work just perfectly, but you have to rig it right. And the mistake I was making is I'm not, obviously for illustration purposes, I'm really making it prominent, you know, the crookedness of these. But I have noticed a difference that if you rig these right and really spend the time and put these on the right way, it will increase at least the hookup rates a little bit. So make sure when you're doing your plastics, you take your time, you make sure you're running these things, these hooks, whatever jigs you're using, make sure everything is centered, aligned, not stretched, not kinked, and it will increase your hookup rate.
So basically, I mean, if you're doing a weedless rig or even just a normal jig, and your swim bait or your plastic is not streamlined or it's got a kink in it, it's not going to function right. It's going to start going to the side. You might get a little helicopter. That, or you'll notice that when you bury the hook in to make it weedless, that if it keeps popping out, there's little tricks where you can kind of bury that little tip in so it doesn't move left, you know, it doesn't back out. But So today, what I did is I really focused when I was putting that plastic on, making sure as you're running the hook through the plastic, you're making sure that it's right down the center and that you're popping it right where it would be naturally. Because you don't want to stretch that bait when you pop the hook. You want that plastic, because they make those plastics to fish, you know, the way it is, right? Aerodynamic, or well, aerodynamic, but you know, in the water. But that's the key though, is when you rig up those plastics on a jig head or on a weedless hook, you need to make sure that when you got the hook in and everything like that, that it's seamless. There's no kinks, there's no squishy points, nothing like that. So that's what I did today. And today, when we had chases, they definitely tried to strike it. And before, when I was doing it, I had a little kink in it, or the hook came out a little to the side, and I just left it. And I noticed that when the fish chased it, they would turn, they would lose interest. So obviously I didn't have an epic day today, but I mean, we did get that nice rat red, you know, a little red, and then a handful of little baby trout. Fishing with Critter, got some small trout as well. And then my other buddy, he did really well. He went back to that spot where he lost that big red the previous time we went there, and he landed a nice 20-inch red. I told him to send me the picture of it. If I got it, I'll put it right here. So good for him. That's awesome. And yeah, so once again, everybody, putting in that time. I'm grinding, but just the bite's real slow. So I am thinking about another spot that I have noticed that the bite's on fire, so maybe I will go try that out on Thursday. So we will get the kayak out probably one more time this week. Well, I guess it depends. I'm taking my kayak to get worked on, just to get new lines run, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see when I can do that. But anyway, everybody, I appreciate you for watching. Again, I was hoping for more fishing action. I'm usually pumped every morning thinking this is going to be one of those days, and it seemed like it was. It was real fishy, really nice out, but yeah, just real slow. But at least we didn't get skunked. So I will catch you in the next one, everybody. Sidelines. Peace.